Good evening. We'll call to order the council meeting of December 17th, 2012. We'll start with the invocation and pledge of allegiance from our mayor, Mayor Hollenbach.
To rise. Before we have the invocation, I'd like to start with a moment of silence as a sign of solidarity with Newtown, Connecticut, please. Our Father in heaven, we pause tonight thinking of our friends, neighbors in New England. We just ask that you be with them. It is so horrific I can't find the words to even quite pray to you about it. But help us to understand and help us in this season to focus on the good, glad tidings that you bring of joy, even in the face of this. We know, Lord, that our sin has caused us to lose our joy. Help us to remember that through birth of your Son, that joy can be reclaimed. Now, Lord, we just ask your blessing upon our town and be with us as each of us commit ourselves to striving to do what is the best that we can do. Be with our soldiers overseas. Be with those who are sick. May your healing hand come. And now, we give you thanks for your Son, Jesus. In his name, amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mayor. You take the attendance. We're going to our first public forum. If anyone would like to speak, you come forward. Please state your name and address. Keep your comments to around 3 minutes.
Good evening. Susan Green, 624 East Walnut Street. I attended the meeting Wednesday night, and at the end of it, it sounds like they hired Stephen Barth. I wasn't aware that they were going to go ahead with that without him coming forward and showing us any plans that he had for us instead of just the plans that what he's done for Hatboro. Am I correct that he's been hired?
I'm not sure, but this isn't a time for questions. It's a time to comment on the agenda or...
Okay, well, I know you're not going to answer me, but I'm asking the question anyway.
Appreciate it. It's part of the budget.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yeah, Andrew Rumbold, South 8th Street. I met this past week with Steve Algio and Dan Olper and Joe Barty to go over questions I had on the budget, and I appreciate all their time. What I came away with after that meeting and trying to understand why we can pass a budget with a deficit is that apparently a couple years ago, I don't know when it was exactly, council voted to maintain a 20% fund balance, 20% of the revenues, and currently we're at 29%. So instead of returning that money to the taxpayers or paying down debt or using it for some other, legitimate purpose, instead we're using it to enable increased spending every year. This year, $243,000 more in spending than last year. This is outrageous. Another thing that I came out of that was that the health care plan that our employees have, and talking with Jim Ryder the other day about this, hasn't been shopped out in 3 years. According to my quick calculations, this year we're spending $855,000 on health insurance, and it goes up every year. This year, maybe 7 or 8%. I'm not real good with math, but when that number goes up, I know for myself or any businessman, we look for ways to cut that. And nothing's been done in 3 years. So there's a huge drop of the ball here. And as leadership of this town, leadership of this council, there's no excuse for that. This should have been looked at. And going over some of the details of the plans here, some of the co-pays are as low as $10 for a doctor, $0 for an outpatient. This needs to be looked at. Any smart person or business or entity would do that. And for us not to have done that as a borough in 3 years, we're probably throwing away hundreds of thousands of dollars that could have been saved on that. Maybe their copay has to go up to 15 or 20. That's not a big deal. This should have been shopped out. I appreciate Jim looking into it now. Apparently it's too late for this year. But, you know, this council needs to rein in the spending that's out of control in this town. And I would like to see a roll call on the budget tonight so we can get, you know, a roll call vote on that, please. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Tom Craven, 412 South 6th Street.
Who did the talk by the most time? Thank you.
Tom Craven, 412 South 6th Street. I'm here to voice my concerns regarding the 3 variances the zoning board granted ABH Builders for a house to be built at 408 South 6th Street. My concern is that the lot is too small. On all accounts, the lot size, the lot width, and the side setbacks. The ordinances in our town were put in place for a reason, to protect the residents, and I'm asking you to do whatever you can to uphold these ordinances. Thank you.
Thank you. You're fine. It's right.
Good evening. I want to thank all of you first of all for putting. I want to thank all of you first of all for putting our little issue on the table tonight. We just really appreciate that as neighbors, and I am one of several neighbors that are here concerning that lot on at 408 South 6th Street. And just to call, and probably you have this in front of you, but I just want to state that that lot falls short. As far as lot size, it falls short by 4,700 square feet. It falls short 35 feet as far as the lot width. And as far as the side setbacks, they went 2.5 feet on either side, so that's 5 feet. And we just feel the lot is too small to build a house on. We need 3 variances for 1 lot. And all the variances have something to do with lot size. It's probably a good indication that the lot is too small. So we are thanking you tonight for hearing this, and also we're asking you to stand up for us, to protect us as residents.
Okay, if you could just state your name and address for the record.
We have Donna Craven, 412 South 6th Street.
Anyone else this evening? Okay, hearing none, we'll go into the President's remarks, and I'll keep them brief. Just wanted to wish council people, as well as our residents, everyone in town, a very Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Spend some time, I hope you all get to spend some time with your family and friends, enjoy the holidays, and take some time off and enjoy it. So with that, we'll go into number 6, approval of minutes for meetings for council December 3rd, for committee December 3rd, council November 19th, and public utility of November 12th.
I'll make a motion to accept all those minutes as one motion.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We'll go into correspondence and reports. Mayor, you have a report this evening?
I do. I would like to let the council and community know and the press that we have available after tonight's meeting a press release and a letter of review from Chief Bill Kelly of Abington Police Department as relates to the gym shooting. So that will be available after the meeting, and it will be available on the website tomorrow. Also, I'd like to echo Matt's best wishes for Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all of council and to all of our community.
Thank you, Mayor. Could I get a motion to accept the taxes collected?
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded for the taxes collected. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Can I get a motion to accept the budget status?
So moved. Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments or discussion on the budget status? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Can I get a motion to accept the engineer's report?
So moved. I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments or questions on the engineer's report? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We don't have the planning commission report. We did have a police report. So could I get a motion to accept the police report?
So moved.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments or questions on the police report? The chief is here tonight. No questions, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Council, at this time, is there any unfinished business?
Yeah, I'd just like to comment on Susan Green's question. From what I heard, they did not hire him, and Old Town is short money so far, so they can't do it until they get enough money. That's what I heard.
Because the man that was here, it sounded like that he was on board and hired.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
that's all I know.
Any other unfinished business, council? Thank you, Jim. All right, Public Works Committee. We don't have anything this evening. We're going to Public Utility Committee. Dan, you wanted to provide a briefing on the power supply contract.
Yeah, just very briefly. Mayor, if I could correct something. The letter, we do have a letter from Chief Kelly, but the press release is regarding the power supply. There is no press release, so, I'm sorry. There's no press release on the letter. The letter stands by itself. That's okay. My mistake. On the press release for the power supply plan, you may recall that council did approve on November 19th the purchase of additional blocks of power starting in the year 2016. That was complete within the next week. We went back and forth with signing trading contracts. The end result is that effective at the beginning of 2016, the wholesale price for buying power by the borough will drop $2 million. So it's a great savings that the borough should see in that year. We're going to be doing some work in the next 2 years to see what can be done about trying to approach that rate increase more early. But we can't make any promises at this point. There's still a lot of things that might happen beyond our control between now and then. But that's very good news for the borough. Those rates will come down. Wholesale rates will go down $2 million. And there's a press release.
Any questions about this, council?
I'd just like to thank Dan and staff for diligent work on this power supply purchase. One of many, I'm sure. But it takes a lot of time and energy to get some of this together. So I just want to say thanks.
Yeah, agreed. Good work, Dan. Thank you. And good work to council for putting that forth and getting it done. I don't have anything this evening from Park and Recreation. Hearing none.
No, but may I make
Sure.
just a comment? I just want to say thank you to Josh, who's not, is not present tonight, but to the skate board committee for putting on a very nice reopening of the skate park. And thank you to the press for giving us a nice spread of the newspapers and a video and a call. That was very nice. All of the children, youngsters, they're not all children, were very pleased with the layout, and they seemed to have a good time. I interviewed personally 3 or 4 of them, and they were very encouraging in that they were proud of the park and hoped to keep it in a pristine condition that it's in now. I'd also like to thank Dan for his public works and the work that they did in reconstructing the park, and also whatever part the electric company played. Thank you.
Thank you, Flo. Yeah, I appreciate it. And for Josh, for the record, I heard it was a very nice event. My son frequents the park quite a bit, so I heard it at the dinner table every night from midsummer till it was open, about why it was open. So I was very grateful to see it open, and I know he's had good things to say about it. We'll go into now E, Personnel and Policy Committee. So our first resolution is 2012-15 to establish the 2013 council meeting dates. And it is amended to take into consideration Barbara's notes from the last time regarding January 21st being Martin Luther King Day and February 18th being President's Day.
That's right.
So the second meeting in January will be on the 22nd, which will be that Tuesday, and the meeting in February will be on the 19th, which is also a Tuesday. So we'll stay away from those federal holidays. But that's where the resolution stands now, so if I can get a motion.
I'll make the motion to approve resolution 2012-15, a resolution to establish the borough council meeting dates for the year 2013.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We got dates for next year. That's good.
Question on that report. Isn't that election day?
No, our meeting date is November 3rd, the day before. That doesn't have to be moved.
It's the day of, yeah, we're clear.
We're not moving the November 3rd meeting.
Fourth is
Yeah, it's a Tuesday. Oh, okay, whatever it is. We're not changing the November meeting,
Right.
okay?
Did you change the?
No.
No.
Okay, so moving on to resolution 2012-16, the wage and salary schedule for 2013. If I can hear a motion.
Is this 2012-16 wage and salary?
Correct.
Okay.
To the top. Do I have a motion, council? I think you have to paraphrase a bit.
Okay. Let's see. Motion to approve resolution 2012-16, wage and salary schedule for 2013. Establishes the wage and salary schedule for all employees. Most non-union employees will receive across the board a 3% wage increase. The assistant manager, public works director, and the utility billing clerk are scheduled to receive a flat $5,000 increase. Pool employees are not scheduled for a wage increase this year.
That's it.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed?
No.
Motion carries. Go to appointments to boards and commissions. Our first one is a 3-year term from 2015 to the Park and Recreation Board.
I make a motion to approve the appointment of Barbara Palmer, Harold Plummer, Mary McKay, and Elizabeth Jarrett, each to a 3-year term through the year 2015 to the Park and Recreation Board.
I'll second that.
A motion's been made and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Appointments are made. We could go to number 3, or E3, D1 then. The 1-year expired term, 2013, the Park and Recreation Board. That'd be the second one, Council.
Make a motion to approve and confirm that Councilman Hollabaugh, who is currently a member of the Park and Rec Board in a term through the year 2013, is now been designated as the delegate to the Park and Rec Board. Mr. Chris Chango was previously appointed to fill the vacancy of Millie Bishop through the year 2013, but without the designation of another delegate.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now, a 4-year term through 2016 to the Civil Service Commission.
I'll make a motion to approve Brian Black to another 4-year term to the Civil Service Commission through 2016. 2016.
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Now we have a 4-year term through 2016 to the Perkasie Planning Commission.
I'll make a motion to appoint Richard Packard to another 4-year term, Perkasie Planning Commission through 2016.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Last one, council, is the 5-year term through 2017 to the Zoning Hearing Board.
I'd like to make a motion to appoint David Bart to another 5-year term, Perkasie Zoning Board through 2017.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, next order of business is Resolution 2012-19, the non-uniform pension contribution.
Make a motion to approve resolution 2012-19 to waive the non-uniform pension contributions for 2013.
I'll second it.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Last bit under personnel policy is to approve the information technology service contract for 2013.
I'll make a motion to approve the professional services agreement between Perkasie Borough and Kiesel Computer Services for informational technology assistance for the year 2013 at an established retainer price of $725 per month and $107 per hourly fee.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any comments or questions?
Yeah, just
Jim?
professional memory is the first sentence, 25 per month, yes, is how is that an hourly minimum, or what is that? Yeah, I'm just curious as to what the first $725 per month is for.
Go ahead.
I don't have the contract in front of me. I know we had the contract in the last packet.
Yeah.
To be able to tell you, but it's rare that we actually charge the hourly fee. I know he does the regular maintenance on the system to make sure that the server's doing well, and he installs computers for us as needed. And
So there's hourly work included in the $725 a month.
oh yes,
That's correct.
yes, calls in practically every single
It's
week
not just
for
that fee,
many
that's
hours.
part of the normal service in case it's a server.
You've got a guaranteed number of hours per month. Any other questions, council? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Council, my apologies to the residents. I glanced over on planning and zoning committee meetings, number 9C, the review of zoning hearing board decision that a few people discussed this evening, so again, my apologies. Nate, can you talk to us about kind of procedures here, and then we can get into it? I know we've all had a chance to look at the information that's in one of our recent packets, but before we do that, let's hear a bit from Nate. So Nate, at that point.
Sure, absolutely. As a refresher from last meeting, the zoning hearing board has 45 days from the date of the decision to issue a written decision. The council of the borough is not in any position to take any official action until that written decision comes out. At that point, it can be reviewed and determined if an appeal is worthwhile to consider in that situation. Also, at that point, any individual at the zoning hearing board who saw party status would have the ability to appeal the decision on their own as well. With that said, the written decision is, the written decision of the zoning hearing board is the action that triggers the appeal period. From that point, there will be 30 days within which the borough or any individual that saw party status will be able to file an appeal. So really, again, until we have that written decision, we can't really take official action because we wouldn't know what the basis and totality of the decision to us. So that's where we are procedurally.
And if you could just review what's in that written decision?